Hey everybody, and welcome to another MiSTer Multisystem that I just got from, I believe it's KoalaKoa Industries, or the company or the person's name that's been making this stuff. So the MiSTer, I covered this a little bit last time. Some of the stream may have cut some of it off. Again, I don't stream often enough to remember all this setup. But the idea is that I got this version of the MiSTer that is kind of consoleized. It has all the input outputs I would need. It has a thing where I can tap these RFID cards to it and play the games. And yesterday we went through just the unboxing and setup, and I was very confused by several things in here. And I have gone and read the manuals that were included in this. I went and watched some more videos. I played around with it a little bit today, did update all, and so hopefully it's in a point where I can play some games on it. We can see how things look on it, and that'll be a fun stream, and it'll at least be something. I've already been messing with this and clicking around. I figured might as well show it because it's fun. So let's look at the top-down view and just talk about this for just a second. So yesterday when I hooked it up, I just had this HDMI in, which is under this little card reader here. I have a HDMI in there. I did that into the RetroTink 4K and then upscaled it to I think 1080p, just because this laptop feels like it's about to melt sometimes when I do this. So not doing something crazy with the upscale on it, but just getting it through this just in case I want to do anything fancy. Today I also have a hooked up VGA, and that's what you're seeing on this view. So if I pull up the stats menu here, you can see at the top that I'm getting 240p in, and then I'm scaling it out from there. In our inputs, we're going from the VGA input here. So that's one of the cool things about the MiSTer, I think at least, is that you can spit out the real analog signal to any CRTs or anything else you're connecting to in there. And it's just a cool thing, especially because I have several CRTs. I just got a new one recently. And being able to send out a signal to that, or send out a signal to HDMI, or if we go back to the start here, this SCART port on the top of this. So that has another big connector there for RGB video through SCART. And this whole setup, which I did appreciate, came with SCART cable included in here, came with the HDMI cable, and pretty much everything I needed to get set up here. I also have several other controllers ready to try some games on. I've got this 8BitDo Genesis adapter that I got, or not adapter, controller, that I got in a recent sale of theirs, so I'm interested to try that on the real cores. It came with this Retro Fighters controller, which I have one of when I was looking for good controllers for PS1, PS2, all of that, and I've used it quite a bit. This is the one that came with this bundle, and I've still enjoyed it. It also has the added ability of hitting the home button. We'll pull up this little MiSTer menu here, and I can go through and do other settings. So that's nice to do it all from a controller and not have to pull up a keyboard and stuff. The other added benefit is that it did include a little bundled keypad, trackpad thing here that you can plug in and use as a little mouse and keyboard. Yesterday it wasn't charged. I think it's charged enough today, so we can use that if we need to. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in because I had forgotten to do that. And that should give us the ability to hit the, at least, escape key in the cases where I was configuring controllers yesterday and getting stuck in a menu that I couldn't get out of because I didn't have a keyboard hooked up. That is one of the things with, this feels very much like playing with a Raspberry Pi or something, that I kind of need a keyboard, a mouse, a screen all hooked up just in case to be able to type stuff, or at least, very least, a keyboard. So what I was really excited about with this is not having to hook up a keyboard, that I could just keep this under a TV and always have it ready to play. That seems mostly true. There's some situations where I guess I could have mapped something to escape, but it was a little learning curve for me. And again, I'm coming in pretty blind to this. I watched some videos, but I hadn't read that stuff yesterday. The instruction manuals that came on the little flash drive, they aren't the biggest instruction manuals for how to use every part of the MiSTer. That's what I've been watching videos about yesterday and this morning to try and understand better what that's doing. The other thing we were going to hook up, because I will play some N64 games here, is I showed this a little bit yesterday, but this is the MiSTer Add-ons Reflex adapter that uses an HDMI in, because apparently those ports can just kind of send any signal into the N64 adapter here. This all goes out through an extremely long USB cable they sent me, which is very handy. It's just when I'm on a table surrounded by cables, it is a little much. But I will definitely appreciate this because it'll be better in the long run to have that. And I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. It will go. There we go. So this lights up. It will tell you basically what mode you're in and what controls are mapped to in here, which is handy. And yes, that will allow me to play N64. So I'll set that to the side. Set some of these other adapters. My workspace here is messy. And let's go back to the game. So the only thing is when I'm using this N64 controller, I don't have a button to pull up the MiSTer menu. I'm sure I could map one, but just because the N64 controller doesn't have an extra button, I don't have an easy way to pull it up. So I've still got the Retro Fighters PS1 controller plugged in over here, and I'll use it to pull up the menu. But yesterday we left off with me launching the N64 MiSTer Core, which is the core is a console. It seems to be, is that kind of is the definition of it here. And we were playing around with some of the settings. I have played around with those a little bit more and understand them better. So let's launch into a race. I'll close this menu. I'll go back to my N64 controller. And I will not do that because I didn't map this, I guess. Let me go and map it. So I did find out one helpful thing. When you pull up this menu, you can go over left and right. Left is the information about the current MiSTer and what it's doing seemingly, and all the way to far right gives me things to define the buttons and do remapping and stuff. So I'm going to try to define the buttons here for N64, and I will try to remember which button is the confirm key on here. And you know what? That's not working. So let me reset it now that I have the reflex adapter plugged in and see if it will detect it there. These are still some of the learning pains I'm seeing. Okay, now the N64 controller is working in here. We'll go back to console, right, N64. So that is the one nice thing about the reflex adapter. There are ports in the very front here that will work as a snack adapter. That's where I can plug in, and it is just a board with a USB on the side of it. This will let me use real controllers, but it doesn't let you control it in the MiSTer menu. It just lets you control it in a given core or FPGA, like console core in here. So that is one of the downsides of the snack adapter from what I can tell, and that is one of the nice things about the reflex adapter, a lot of adapters for this, is that you can control these menus. I'll go ahead and define all my things here. Down, up, A, B, start, L, R, Z. I don't know what alternative buttons means. That may be if you're going through and doing something that has back bumpers or something like that, but I haven't seen the need for it yet. So we're on the N64 core, and I will go load up. Beetle Adventure Racing is something I'd wanted to test in here because running it in various, start with save data, various different emulators and things on the PC, I had horribly mixed results with whole graphics not displaying, really just odd things with this, that this would hardly run, which is one of the reasons I was interested in the MiSTer, just because seemingly, and I am still new to this world, seemingly because you're simulating the console itself and all of the chips, and the games just think they're running on that system with no changes to it. It seems like, actually I'll go to championship. Maybe I'll unlock some stuff here. Seemingly has better compatibility. That's what I've been led to believe. If that's true, that could not be true. Someone can correct me on FPGA gaming in general, but that's how I understand it. Is it might be a little more accurate because it is trying to recreate it as accurately as possible in here. But and we're gonna immediately hit start on this once we start up. So this is, well, I guess we'll drive for a second. This is what I consider the normal N64 image in here. I believe that's how we have it set. We'll go double check my settings here. And we can go into audio and video here. And then we have this, which is in the video out, we have original VI. And that is as far as I understand it, the original way that the chips behave to display out N64. You have all these cool options in here to disable bilinear filtering, which, if I can remember the buttons, you can enable and disable bilinear filtering on here, which, as far as I understand it, just blurs the image up. It makes it softer when it upscales rather than like an integer scale, which is taking a square and making it a bigger square. You can also de-dither in here, so you can turn off the dithering when there weren't enough colors supported. You can also increase the number of colors. I can't see really any visual change with this option. I couldn't really tell much with gamma or de-dither. Maybe that works better in certain games. The one wild thing in here is that you can turn off the aliasing completely, or the anti-aliasing. So the N64 seemingly applied this over everything three-dimensional. Maybe it does more. And turning that off makes things look extremely crisp. Divot, I will have to look at what this means, but I just noticed it almost made the edges like harder on certain surfaces and made them like sharper from what I could tell, but I don't really know what this means. You also have the texture filter here, and I think we can see it on the road a bit. So let's turn... I don't know how clear this is because it does dim it in the overlay. But the texture filter makes anything that is a square pixel on the textures get blurred together and kind of smoothed out. Things, if you focus on the road, when we unpause or get out of this menu, you can see it a lot. So let's get out of this menu and get to the road, and we'll just kind of stop. And you can see the road looks extremely blocky now. You can almost pick out the exact pixels of everything in there. And then we can go turn that off. Let's see, video out. Oh, I guess I could just not pause the game, and that helps us. So here, if we turn anti-aliasing on, and wow, I just cannot get down that the right button is the A button. I keep thinking the bottom button's the A button. So here we go. Anti-aliasing on and off. You can see it kind of blurs the edges on items here. And then if we turn texture filtering, you'll notice the road gets really smudgy. In some cases that helps. From what I can look at, like the trees look more blobby, look more rounded, and then if I turn it off, they're very blocky. So just having the option to change this stuff is incredible to me. And yeah, if you turn all this on, you are getting basically the N64's original image, or as close to it as you could get, with a really nice, clean, crisp output as far as the video signal. And this is sending at the 240p exactly in here. With this setup, we can like completely stop and kind of look at some of these things. Maybe we'll get close to a box so you can see some of the smoothing. Can I reverse in this game? Doesn't seem to be. Only go forward. So let's look at some of these things again. Oh, please stop driving. I'm gonna drive immediately by it. And then we can go completely the opposite and just turn on crisp mode. May take it a second. I haven't done this while on VGA to see what the signal does. And the signal has disappeared, so I'm not sure in that case. Let's go to HDMI and we can just see it directly out of there because I know that works when I tested earlier. So let's go HDMI. And there we go, we're getting HDMI output. Hopefully that audio isn't getting picked up too much. Okay, so this might give us a little clearer image to look at this stuff. If I now go into audio video, I can change it to clean, which immediately everything looks so much sharper, and you can even tell some dithering on this. There seems to be a little bit of it, because things just look super sharp. The only problem I found with this so far is that you can see some places where there are gaps between UI elements, especially. So being able to go in, and what I was finding to be the best was to turn off bilinear. So you see you can look at that ER and CE over to the right there. That bilinear filter goes over everything, so it kind of smudges up everything. So turning that off, you immediately get crisp pixels, which I'm a fan of. I think that looks better to me at least, but just the option to change them is great. I also was turning off the anti-alias because I like just getting a sharper image. I think the N64 looks good on a CRT, but when I'm playing it on one of these, it just looks like I'm losing a lot of clarity with that, but it may depend on the game. I haven't gone through it a ton yet. And then texture filter, this one is interesting because it gives the sharper kind of values to the ground, which I do think looks nice in some cases. Here, we'll restart this race and kind of play. Let's see, I was going to do championship. We'll kind of play through this. Enter car and go through here. So when I was playing around with it earlier, this seemed like the best image to me because the car looks really crisp. I have hard edges on there, and I could kind of take or leave the filtering on the textures because the blockiness, it reminds me more of a PS1 game, probably because they were having these sharp pixels on here, and I kind of like it, but you'll notice the trees and some of the background elements almost seem too sharp in some areas. So I like the idea that you can swing between it, depending on the game and how you want to do this. And I was noticing, like, honestly, some scenes and some of the environment without some of these options on. So the fact that you can customize it, that you can just go pure N64 image, or you can go anything in between into the clean HDMI is, yeah, just clean image out of here is really, really nice. And this plays, I guess I can play some Bomberman Hero later because that, you know, I have had more experience with that game because I played that very recently. And I could not notice anything different when the N64, like it felt just perfect. And the fact that I'm getting a cleaner image than the N64 can give seems great for recording videos and just enjoying some of these games, especially when I'm not playing on a CRT or, you know, one capture something. But yeah, Beetle Adventure Racing runs great on here, and this is one of the games that made me start investigating, along with Bomberman Hero, different options rather than just PC emulation or real hardware in some cases too, because both of them had their downfalls. The real hardware obviously being blurrier, the incompatibility on some of the PC emulators, and I could have configured settings wrong. That is completely possible. Having the MiSTer just have these clear options and just work out of the box and letting me tune the image has been great so far. And I've only had this, you know, less than 24 hours, I think, at this point. But yeah, did anybody play Beetle Adventure Racing? I think maybe I watched some Metal Jesus Rocks videos or something like that where they talked about this game being good and some other lists that included best N64 racers. So I was kind of interested in it. I don't think this is a game I would have given a second look in the store because it seems like a branded game and I just wouldn't have expected it to be any good, but it is definitely fun and more arcadey racing than I would have expected on here. But yeah, it feels great. And the fact that, again, I'm playing on just my original N64 controller. I have this adapter and I just play this game like I was playing on the real N64, except it's all on one console with a bunch of options. I'd also noticed so far, because I did test this one earlier when I was just trying to understand all the settings, I noticed so far that the tracks seem to change each lap around, which I really appreciate. Maybe not completely, but I noticed little differences each lap you go around, which I always appreciate. I really like the Mario Kart levels that would start to do that, I think in 8, maybe, I think some in 7 too they would do that. Maybe it's older than that, but those are the games I remember seeing the, like, one lap tracks that they would change each time, so it felt like you weren't just repeating the exact same 3 laps, that something was actually changing there. And this is, again, I hooked this up to go through HDMI because I couldn't figure out what the clean option did. That may have forced it to HDMI at that point. But it does have VGA hooked up and it can spit both of those out at once, which I'm very interested in trying just from the fact that I could technically play a game on a CRT while recording the HDMI signal is very exciting to me. If I can get over the whine of a CRT, because these are pretty loud and I haven't lost all my hearing yet, that seems like a fun way to play these, to play them in like the original way I remember, as well as get a good clean signal out that makes it palatable for somebody watching. And Java sucks to see you. Send a message here. Or... Oh, okay. So you have played some of this. Yeah, I don't think I knew anyone. Oh, I guess I should read this. A friend of mine lent the N64 around 2013 with a few games, and this was one of them. Yeah, I've only heard the word of mouth of YouTubers tell me that this game is good, but it's definitely fun so far, and not what I expected. Especially, I think I'd seen on a list recently that the, I guess, Need for Speed Porsche, or maybe there's a Porsche game that's also surprisingly fun, and anything that was branded with the car, I just thought would not have any arcadiness, that it would be like a super serious, treat our vehicles well, and this is like you're launching VW bugs off cliffs and smashing into stuff. I haven't seen another racer so far in a bit, but I did run into one earlier today, and they shattered into the classic N64 pixels, so they're not being precious about their cars, you can just destroy them. And this also, I was trying to think, when I did my Diddy Kong Racing video, that was more than a year ago, I believe. Yeah, I think that's been more than a year. I had played that with a different controller, not an N64 controller. I forget what the name of it was. And I remember thinking that that was the better option, but going back to Bomberman Hero, the stick on the N64 controller gave me so much more responsive movement in Bomberman 64. I kept missing throws, and maybe it was like the bounce back of the stick when you'd let go and it'd like snap back and then throw things off, but I've just now started wanting to game with the actual controller for that console, the official one, more and more, because I've just had weird things. Anytime I've tried to run N64 not using all original hardware, it has been kind of a disaster in my experience, so this seems like this is the perfect middle ground. I'm very excited for it. And look, we're going to the right instead of last time we went to the left. I know that's not the biggest change, but I think that's fun. And we're almost done with these. Are long laps. This is like a close to 10-minute race on here. I thought this would be shorter. We can hop over to another game. I just kind of wanted to finish this. Oh, and I signed up for a championship, so I'm going to be throwing even more away. Okay. I always got such a dreamlike vibe from these games, from the less defined graphics, low draw distance. Yeah, it's something odd because coming from like pixel art and everything where everything's so crisp, especially if you throw it through an emulator, it's odd how much the N64 does to like soften up the image, which I remember looking really good at the time. Now I'm more confused by it. But the fact that I can just go in, and if I want to see it that way, I can just turn off all this. I still am messing up my button commands. I can just turn off all this stuff and go back to bilinear filtering, go back to original in here, put the texture filter back on, and then it's the softer N64 image, which does make it seem less like they're low polygon. It kind of blurs it a little bit. Maybe that was their intention, but I love the options on here. Had Diddy Kong Racing for the Nintendo DS. The DS really suffered from the lack of analog stick. Yeah, I had picked up Diddy Kong Racing on the DS first, and then I got the N64 version. And I didn't play the DS version long enough to really experience that D-pad, but the N64 stick just felt like you really needed it, because the N64 version, and I guess that game in general, has just such specific timing for races, and you need to really maneuver between things that I really can't imagine that. I feel like you need some minute control in some way at least. Did you finish Diddy Kong Racing on the DS? That seems difficult to do. Let me see. Oh yeah, and Diddy Kong Racing on the DS had the thing where you like spun up your wheels, right? You'd like almost do a touchscreen minigame, and I can't imagine that made people happy at the time. Let's load up the other thing I wanted to try. So these were, I guess, 3 of the newer cores that had kind of made me stumble upon the MiSTer stuff more recently, or within the last year or so, where I hadn't super been interested, but being able to do N64, PlayStation, and Saturn was very, very intriguing to me. So I've seen this game going around quite like quite often. Let me go back into here. Is this Burning Rangers by the Sega team? So let's try to load this up and see if this will start. It is an odd thing on the MiSTer so far. That's been a learning curve of just how to get some of these to launch up, because here I've chosen a certain BIOS and it's brought me to the Saturn system menu, which this menu is wild. I did not know this had a main menu. That seems like that could be one of the earliest consoles to have a main menu. I can't remember what the launch year was, but I just don't remember main menus on anything before the PlayStation, really. And I guess this came out around the same time as the PlayStation, maybe a little earlier. I can't remember the exact dates there, but you finished on the DS after many years. Yeah, some of those races are so tough. Way to go. That seems very difficult to do. Let's try this BIOS. Okay, so this one worked. That is one odd thing. I guess that more has to do with the Saturn. And nope. Let's do USA. Let's see if this... Nope. Yeah, this is the odd thing I was noticing. It's just trying to select the correct BIOS, trying to get everything to load, was a little odd. And it's probably because I don't fully understand what I'm doing. that could be it. But here we do finally have a Start Application button. It's going to try to load that. There we go. Okay, so we now have the right selection in here. And I think... Okay, game audio is coming through because I can't hear this. I don't want it to clip into the mic too much if I'm listening myself. I guess I have a pair of headphones, so I could fix this. Could fix this problem I've caused only for myself. So yeah, this is one I've been seeing images and videos of lately. I never knew this game existed. I did not know much about the Saturn. And it looks a lot like Phantasy Star Online visually, I feel like. Is this extremely loud? Just tell me, Java. I'm turning it down a little bit. It seems like this is this is very loud based on my monitor, but you will have to let me know how loud this is. But yeah, very cool intro on this. Love the art style. I'm hitting start to skip it. I'm sorry. And I can't remember if I saved earlier when I got to the menu. Nope, seems I didn't. And on this one, so we have different aspect ratios and things in here that you can do. Scan doubler effects. Seems like this applied CRT filters and things like that to it. I don't really know enough about the Saturn. It doesn't seem like there's the amount of options that there were on the N64. Oh, sorry, go back to digital. But I need to define buttons for this. So right, left, down, up. And no alternative buttons. Okay.
Got it.
And we'll go through and do this. So I'm not using an N64 controller for this one, obviously. But it might actually work well for this because it does have the 6 face buttons. It hasn't been clipping. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Holy anime Batman. Yep, there's a lot in here. And it looks like we get 2 selections for characters that we can choose from. And I think this is somewhat of a, like, space-time firefighting game, from what I can tell, but I do not know that much about it.
I'm going to take you through the
I
basics.
very,
Mastering these
very
techniques are
infrequently
critical to
see a
becoming
Saturn
ranger.
game in stores,
I'm Chris Parton,
and when
the
I
leader
do,
of the
they
Burning
are
Rangers, and your
prohibitively
navigator for
expensive
this exercise.
or extremely scratched
Chris
up
always
in other
monitors our
cases.
situation and provides us with updates. Make sure you listen to her carefully, because it may save your life.
Press the navigation call button when you are lost, and I'll try to help you out. This is Reed Phoenix.
Yeah, I really
He'll
like
be
the look
helping
of
you
this
with the
game.
basics.
It
Relax. Don't be nervous.
Sure, it's low resolution, but it just has such
Are
a
you ready?
crisp visual style
Press the
that
R
looks
button to
really
look to your
cool.
right.
And again, it reminds me a lot of Phantasy Star. I think this would be
Do
the
you see
same
that
team.
fuel tank?
Maybe
Now
it
look to
isn't.
your
Maybe
left
it
by
isn't
pressing the L
specifically
button.
Sonic team, but a lot of the same
Now you should see a
logos. I
door.
can't remember what it
Use the
showed
L
up at the
and
top
the R
here, but
buttons to rotate the camera, okay?
Now let's begin.
okay, we're moving on.
Follow Reed. Use the D-pad to move in the direction you want to go.
Can you see that gap ahead?
Oh, this is
Don't
all-
worry about it. Just keep running.
Okay, right,
You'll
this
automatically
screen is
clear
just-
small gaps. Follow me.
Yeah, you have little jetpacks in here to leap over stuff. Very cool. Cool stylish
You should be able
flips.
to look around corners by pressing the L and R buttons. There are 3 different types of doors and hatches that are striped and color-coded. You have free access through blue striped doors.
I've
To open yellow
never
striped
heard that
doors,
term
you
before.
must find and
Scrunkly?
activate a switch.
Is that
Switches
just because
can
all the
often be
pixels are
found
shifting
right next to
around?
the
Is that what
doors,
that
but some may be located in different
refers to?
rooms. Red doors cannot be opened. Once they're closed, that's it. Also, you need to know that there are doors that only work in one direction. You can only enter the door from the blue stripe side.
Okay, next exercise.
Tillis, I'd like to introduce you to Big Landman. He's our most skillful ranger.
Especially this guy
He's a
with
veteran
the
firefighter, and you might have seen him on TV or in
metal,
the newspapers.
like head spike thing. That seems very Fantasy Star. Like at least for the like androids and robots in there. And I've not played much Fantasy Star. I remember playing Fantasy Star Portable 1
Now we'll
quite a
show
bit
you
on
how
the
to use your
PSP.
jetpack. You can
But I
jump
never
up
had
by
anyone to
pressing the
play
jump
with, so I
button.
never made it very
If you
far.
press the jump button while in
But
the air,
this
your
really
jetpack will
strikes me
deliver
as
an
like
extra boost
having a
that allows you to
similar
jump higher and get
origin
more
point. Maybe it
distance.
doesn't, but I'll have to do some research on this
Watch
game
me,
because
and you'll see what I
it's
mean.
very cool. But I was also glad to see that they show what the face button you're supposed to be hitting is. In a lot of these cases, I'm very mixed up going from console to console and remembering
Big
it,
is
especially
on
when
the
I don't have the
platform
real
above and to your
hardware
left.
controller to use,
Now
so
press
that's
and
very
hold the
fun. I'd also
camera
seen
button
that
and use the D-pad to locate it.
somebody, what was it? Somebody actually went in and one of the companies made okay, so I can move the camera. Seemingly made a Saturn controller recently.
Can you see
so
him?
there might be
Okay,
a reason
now
for me
jump
to get
onto
that
the
controller to
platform
make
where
these
Big
games
is
feel better
standing.
if I want to do a full playthrough of one of these. Big Landman is this Kojima game. I do not think he had association with it, but very similar naming scheme. Just like tell us what this person is about in their name.
Good. I think you got it.
And I don't know.
Now, press the action button.
Again, I didn't know much about the Saturn at the time. The PlayStation was a thing that I saw friends had and played
When you
and
find a
everything. So
console panel
I've
with a
had
light
some
on,
exposure for the
stand
PlayStation 1.
next to it
Haven't
and press
played
the
many of the
action
kids'
button.
games.
Some
I think I
doors can be
mentioned.
open this way.
I think Tomba's my first PS1
Reed
game
is
I
standing
played through.
next to the door you just
I can't remember if I'd done
Now
another,
go
but I
find
think
him.
that might be the case. So I barely know the PS1, and this is a even more smaller
Follow me.
thing I know. But look
Well
how fun
done,
those flips
rookie.
are. I also wonder.
Okay, let's
see
go
what
to
we're
the
moving
next
on.
room.
Now, pay attention.
No,
This
it
is
doesn't
very
show it. It did
important.
have something on the N64 core
Crystals.
where you could put up
Crystals are
a.
concentrated forms of energy. Using its energy, our suits generate a
So
shield.
there are
which
some things you
protects
can
us from all
change,
fire hazards.
like change the scaling and do some stuff, but the N64 controller, I think specifically for
Okay,
that one,
now collect
had an
all the
option to put
crystals
up
in
the FPS and see what the game was running at, which I find very interesting, especially on older games, just to see like, oh, this ran at 20. This one feels like that, but it's still I don't know. There's
done,
something
rookie.
about it. This is like immediately makes me interested in
Okay,
playing this.
Let's move on.
Oh, look, we've got fire, so maybe we'll find what the game is about
Tillis,
now, more than
meet Joe.
jumping.
He's a new recruit and our newest member.
Hi, I'm Sho. I'm a Barney.
It also makes me wonder, I know that the Saturn core, I think is still in progress and is getting like performance updates all the time. Last I heard the N64 core was
Use your pulse
complete
laser by pressing the action button.
and that everything was
Here,
playable.
I'll show you how.
So I don't know how close this is. Like that texture that was flickering on the ground
Pulse laser
earlier,
absorbs the flame's
I'm unsure if
energy and
that's something that would
transforms
exhibit
the
on real
energy
hardware,
into
if that's
crystals.
just a,
Your
the
shield
core is not
increases
yet
with
complete.
each crystal you collect. So it's a very good idea to collect as many crystals as possible. Now it's your turn. Put out the fire
The two
and
consoles that I
collect
had
the
growing up
crystals.
were an original Xbox and a Wii, so I missed a heck of a lot of games. Yeah, I missed
Tillis,
almost all the
what's up?
PlayStation
Are you
stuff,
scared?
so I'm in the same camp there. Definitely had the... Whoa. What?
Tillis, you can do better than that.
That's how we put out fires with, like... That feels like we're shooting out a massive
Be able to
droplet
recognize
or
the
something.
intensity
That is
of the
not what I
fire by its
expected.
color. Red flames are weak. Generally, one shot will extinguish them. But the blue flames, which you see there, are much tougher to put
Oh,
out.
interesting. Okay.
Several shots from your pulse gunner
Yeah,
lead
you
to
had
where
an Xbox
these
and
points
Wii.
out. So be careful.
I had the
when you see different
GameCube
colored
before the
flames.
Wii, but
Next, let me
Xbox
introduce
and
you
Wii
to the
was what
laser
I
blast.
like. That
Press
would
and
contain
hold
the
down
same
the
games.
action
You were
button
able
for a
to
few seconds.
access
Then release the
GameCube,
action button.
Wii, and Xbox
This
games, and that
allows you
was
to discharge a
largely my
very
console
powerful
experience.
blast.
So I also
at the
missed a
gauge
lot.
at the
Going
bottom
back
of
and
the
collecting
screen
PS2 stuff
to
has been
monitor your charge.
shocking. How
Release the
many
button
unique
when the
games
gauge
and
is
like
full.
how many exclusive games were on that console. There's just so much that I didn't know about on there.
Laser blasts are extremely powerful.
Fire
Remember,
extinguisher
crystals cannot
bombs.
be
Yeah,
formed when hit
They-
with them.
honestly,
So
they've
keep an eye on
made
your energy
firefighting
level
seem
before
much
using
more
a
appealing
laser
with
blast.
with the way that you extinguish
Tillis,
fires on
use
this.
the laser blast to put out the fire in front of you.
That is
Tillis, you can do
wild
better
how
than
this
that.
looks.
Don't forget, you won't get any
Because it does.
crystals with
It
the
looks like
laser
I'm about to
blast.
cause another fire. It
Okay,
does. It
let's
doesn't
go
look like
to
I'm
the next
fixing
room.
anything until the fire just dissipates. Shockingly.
Okay, now how to pull off an evasive maneuver. Before an explosion occurs, you'll hear a whistling
This
sound.
is this.
You press down on the
The
D-pad
length of
before the
this
explosion,
tutorial,
it will automatically
and maybe it's
avoid the
because this was
blast.
an
Reed will
early 3D
demonstrate this for
game,
you.
because it was a Saturn game.
Watch carefully.
The length of this controller feels like something on like the Xbox 360, or that the Xbox 360 PS3
your
era,
turn.
where they would just make you wait while they taught you how to hit the buttons, and then let you move on only after you ducked under the log or did anything there. Oh, I did not evade.
Do it again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I will do it again. So rude. And was I not paying attention to what button it
Do
was?
it again.
I don't think I was paying attention.
I don't know about you. Think twice before you move, okay?
Okay, this is the last part of our training exercises.
Okay, so
This
maybe
is the
that is
last
why you've got a long
exercise, but the most
tutorial,
rewarding
because I
part
did
of our
not
job.
pay attention to that, and I
Rescue
failed that
transport the survivors to the
training.
burning ship.
But yeah, just like,
It's pretty
the
basic.
detail they're
All you
going
need
through
to
here
do is
feels
walk up
like,
to the survivor.
is this because this was
The
an
most
early 3D
important
game,
thing
and
to
they
remember
really
is
needed
that
to
you
hit
need to
home
have
how
at
you
least
control the
5
character
crystals
like
in order
this.
to generate enough power to transport
What year
the
did this come out?
survivors.
Let's look.
Okay, let's try it. Don't forget to collect the 5 crystals first.
Okay, I need to get these
I need to
crystals.
collect crystals first. Where's the crystals?
I've got the
Coordinates
crystals.
set.
Coordinates confirmed. Transport.
Oh, so the crystals I used to get people out of
Tillis,
this
you can do
dangerous
better than
area.
that.
Hopefully, you should be ready for the mission now.
Don't worry, I'm
Okay, so this
sure
was a 1998 team. It
you'll be
was
okay.
done by, or 1998 game. It was done by Sonic Team.
We've got an emergency signal. Burning Ragers, let's go.
Roger.
Great theme song in this game. Yeah, the do it again is aggressive. They're really not taking it easy on me.
Chris to all Rangers. The energy core temperature is reaching dangerous levels. Reports confirm that workers are still trapped inside. Rangers report to the emergency staging area for immediate transport.
Oh,
Show
apparently
an
this
ace,
is
take point, and
among
continue
the
spreading
final
fire for
7
rescue
Saturn
team.
games released in America.
Tillis 3, proceed to the
I was a
control
little
room
shocked to
located
find this
underground
was when I
basement
was
level
seeing
number
random
1.
videos go out about this game. I was convinced, oh, this must be something that never came to the US because I've never heard of it in my life. This
Press the
is
Z button for navigation. I'll guide you.
a little hard to control just because of the low frame rate.
Tillis, get going through that door.
Oh no, what's my meter at the top?
The fire's... Watch out.
This...
I need
I
to
hope this is
collect
exciting for
crystals
you,
first.
Java, because this this looks wild. I'm not sure that I can fully
I'm here to save you.
show
Hold on.
how this plays, but stuff is just exploding all over the place. Like, I feel a little lost,
Stay
but it
calm,
is
You'll be fine.
definitely fun. This feels like a game that could very much benefit from a modern like
Coordinates confirmed.
remake that runs at
Transport.
30 even minimum, because it doesn't feel like it's that.
Transport complete. Here's the first one.
This is the we have armored core at home. Yeah. And like, what is this? What is this wild graph on the
Listen
side
for a sound
too?
before the explosion, okay, Tillis?
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, we'll retry. Okay, I'm gonna try to pay attention more to the UI now, and then what I may be doing. Wow, I feel like the tutorial did not at all prepare me for what is actually happening here. Okay, like this limit meter is going down.
Listen for a sound before the explosion, okay, Tillis?
Okay. So I can hit my shoot button
You'll
when
be
I
able to
hear
go
that
from
like
there.
slurp sound. They're like
What
whoop,
happened?
and that lets me actually do a maneuver out of the way. And so I can fire off quick shots. It auto aims for me if I'm kind of pointed in the direction. Oh yeah, they even seek. You can see them kind of turn corners there. Now, am I missing a... Is there still fire in this room? Whoa, okay. Okay, I found my person
I'm
to
here
rescue.
save you. Hold on.
This is... If this was what we told people firefighters did, or if we made these suits, everyone would be want to be a
Everything will be
firefighter.
all right.
This is so much more exciting.
Coordinates set.
Coordinates confirmed. Transport. Transport complete. Keep up the good work, Tillis.
Okay. I'm still counting down on time. Was there a door that I should... Oh, this door maybe? Okay.
Looks like the shutter
Even
won't
the way
budge.
they're doing,
There
like,
should be an
yeah, it
emergency
looks a little
override switch
janky,
nearby.
but
Try
even the way they're
locating
doing, like, the outside windows is very impressive to me.
Tillis.
Still waiting for
Sector
Epic to add
D101
these
has an
characters into
elevator
Fortnite.
leading
Oh,
underground.
that would be a
Head
fun
towards
thing
Sector
if the new
D102
Fortnite
plant
season was
site
just
located.
everything's on fire. Put it out. The burning ranges are here. People would be confused, but I think they'd have a good time. Based on what this is so far, I think they'd have a fun time.
Speed
And
machine
like
has
just
been
the way
destroyed.
these
I've
little
secured this area.
chips
Rangers, use
pull into
extreme
me and
caution.
everything. And it doesn't... Yeah, I don't have my timeline right on when, like, what 3D games were out on this time. My dates and years are bad here, but other than the frame rate being so low, I
Tillis,
feel
that's
like
the
if...
wrong way.
Oh, whoa, we've got enemies now? Or are these good? I can't tell. It's hard to know. But yeah, this feels so much with the like camera that kind of frames your character already. Sure, it gets stuck on some stuff, but this feels like kind of like way ahead of its time. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong order of games release, and this was like pretty standard. But this feels way better than I would expect it to, especially at this frame rate. I would think, wow, this is going to be a nuisance immediately, and so far it's just fun.
I'm gonna set the coordinates just in case.
This is the same year as Half-Life 1. Okay, so polygons could look better
okay.
and more cohesive, but
I can't believe my eyes.
You can count on me. Coordinates set.
Coordinates confirmed. Transport. Transport complete. Nice work, Tillis. Go up.
I am still this massive graph is still extremely confusing to me. Is this...
Dead end.
Ow!
Oh, okay. It saw me this time. It actually did something this time. Oh, and I lost... Okay. Well, we now know... If we didn't know Sonic Team designed this before, we now know, because all my crystals spilled out of me. Okay, and this is, like, the screen shake, the crystals bouncing around, and then, like, all this is just, like, so fun and kinetic in a way I wouldn't have expected. Now this, okay, now I've gotten myself in a camera angle that is, like, not ideal, but I feel like most of the time it's still framing me well. I have no idea what that jump is, where I like slide to the side.
Reed,
but
my path is blocked. I can't get through, so I'm gonna look for a detour.
Roger.
okay, I've got quite a bit of crystals. I am starting to wish for a map of some sort, because I am a little lost as to like where my next objective is, where my next person to rescue is. And maybe that would be benefited by an even better camera.
Chris, I'm going to transport 2 survivors at once.
Oh, and I can hear my other teammates talking to me about like their progress, which is cool too. And voice acting. I guess that wasn't that new. Yeah, we're talking about Half-Life. That had a bunch of voice acting. I may be conflating how impressive I think this is with the wrong time period. Okay, so I need to get up here, I think, because there's the broken piece that will let me ledge grab. But do we think a person is up here to rescue? Or are these just where my gems are collected at? And I can see this life bar is going dangerously low. Oh wait, I found a door. Could this be
Cross
where...
that bridge and proceed through the door. What happened? Report.
Oh no. Oh no.
Keep going straight.
All my crystals. I'm a little... I am... Oh,
Tillis,
whoa.
Looks like the power has been completely shut down in that sector. There should be an emergency override switch nearby. Try looking for it.
Interesting. Lighting.
There should be a switch.
Oh, and I can see the switch because it's lit up in a dark room. Okay, but Half-Life.
The power
Half-Life
has
is
been
out.
restored.
Half-Life
Keep
had
moving.
dynamic lights, but not on a Sega console. That's something. Oh yes.
Tillis, there should be an elevator directly in front of you. It will take you underground to sector D-103. Look for the elevator hallway.
Look for the elevator hallway. It can't be any of those. Those are windows.
Chris!
To your right.
To my right.
Chris!
Go left.
Chris!
To your right.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So maybe I don't need a map, because
Chris!
To your left.
to my left. Okay, I'm not sure about that, Chris. guess we can go back through here.
This is Tillis.
Turn back.
Okay, turn back. So this seems to be the room where
This is Tillis.
The door on your right.
Oh! Oh, wow, okay. Verticality. Right, that's what I need to...
Tillis, you're back to where you started.
Is that good that I'm back to where I started? I'm gonna die again or something. That's, I think, what this meter means. I think the building is falling apart.
Don't depend on your shield too much.
Okay. I am currently extremely lost. Unless, this can't be an elevator, could it?
Chris.
Turn back.
Okay, turn back. So something in this room. I'm starting to see some downfalls of this game. Namely, I have absolutely no idea where to go next.
Chris.
Give me a second.
Chris, the building is burning. We need out of here, and I don't know how to navigate my way out. Because they said turn back. They said if I look at this door,
This is Tillis.
Turn back.
turn back where? Go in here?
This is Tillis.
Turn right.
Okay.
This is Big. I found the elevator. It looks like it still works. I'm heading down.
Roger.
Okay, this takes me back to, so I'm sure I have to leap up from this point. Okay, found another door.
Keep going straight. Turn right at that door.
Okay, turn right when I get inside the door, I assume?
There is an elevator door straight ahead.
Okay. I got the button to hit this. Okay, okay.
A door has been activated. Come back.
Oh no. Do we know where that door is
Turn to
located?
the right.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Looks like there's a switch in this sector.
Okay.
The inner shutter opened. Let's go in.
And that seemed to be the door that I was just at. Oh no.
Take a left there.
Okay. Yeah, because this is where I just hit the switch to go back and hit the other switch. Oh, and we found a person, so can I teleport them out?
Doctor!
Are you okay? I'm here to help you. Are there
It's
any
like an inverse
survivors?
lifeline.
The doc just went in there.
Okay, leave him to me. Don't worry.
Does this game have
Confirming the transport
subtitles?
coordinates. Begin transport.
I really doubt that.
Transport confirmed.
I
Tillis,
don't think-
Get down there immediately.
I can
Roger.
pull up a menu? Because I think it just paused.
Tillis, the power has been shut off here too. Hurry and find the emergency override switch.
Wow, look at the... Like, look at that bar at the top. Why is it so... It was just shooting downhill. Oh no. I heard, like, yeah. The lower frame rate and the
There
lack
should
of
be a
maps
switch
does start to show up here. Just because it's really hard to tell, like... It's being lit by individual squares,
Coordinates
seemingly.
set. Transport complete. Thanks, Shell.
And it's very hard to tell what... Oh, where I'm at. They said something when I was around this area, so I feel like I need to go up here.
This is Tillis.
There should be a switch near you.
Okay, they still say the switch is near me.
This
Oh,
is Tillis.
okay.
I found the emergency
Okay, so
override
I
switch.
wasn't as lost as I thought I was.
The power has been restored. Now you can move on.
This is Reed. I'm in the central control room. I'll release all the control valves at once.
Good job, Reed.
Of course.
Okay.
Reed, what happened?
Chris, The energy generator just kicked in.
The central computer just canceled the command
And I can't skip
locally.
any of these
What's
cutscenes,
this?
by the
I'm
way.
getting light force readings near the computer.
This feels like a
You're the
DS game
person.
too.
Check it.
I mean, I am having to play using the D-pad, so yeah, I would agree with that.
This is
And yeah, the
Karen.
only option I have is just
In
to
front of you and
just
towards the
pause.
right.
I assume this is the only door, right? Oh, this is a door too. Okay, this has coins. I'm assuming this is the right path forward. And I definitely need, it seems like at least 10 crystals is what I need to get through a lot of, or like to transport someone
Go
out.
up.
Oh, okay, I can get up there.
Tillis, where do you think you're going? You're going the wrong direction.
Okay, sorry. I was following the coins. I thought that's where I needed to go.
Take a left there. What happened? Report.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's wow, I have a lot of continues though. Just wondering how much longer is left on this level. I want to try some other things. So, let's just game over. Oh, I guess since we got a game over, we can go back to the main menu and see if it had subtitles. If that would be helpful.
Chris, to all Rangers. The energy core temperature is reaching dangerous levels. Reports confirm that workers are still trapped inside. Rangers report to the emergency staging area for
I guess I
immediate
didn't. Oh, and there's a boss in there. I guess I didn't make it out at all, and that's why I got a 0 on everything. But I did rescue some people. They got out, even though I died in the fire.
Control room located underground in basement level number 1.
Roger.
Oh, is this actually my footage replay? Wow, you can see how bad I did, especially after that cool intro. Okay, let's go back to the start and let's look. Yeah, they are berating me. That's exactly what it feels like. They're constantly yelling that, like, you've gone the wrong way. What are you doing? Why aren't you turning here? I need a little more heads up on that I need to turn left up ahead. I need, like, the rally car racing instructions popping up saying, like, you will need to turn left in 300 feet. The GPS is what I need. They're yelling at me after I've made a wrong turn. Does not seem to be any subtitles on this. We'll have to see. I know there are some plugins for like OBS, I believe, that will do some subtitles that would maybe be helpful in cases like this, but let me go see. Can I load something else in here? Just because we're on Saturn. Oh, this was something I thought was very cool. We'll see if it actually loads. Let's just go to this one. Yeah, I mean, I just wonder at that point in time how many games had subtitles in them. That seems like it's only been something that's gotten better in like recent years. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully there was more stuff that supported that, but let's see if this will load up. Okay, so this I thought was extremely cool, is that you can load up work in progress builds of things that never released, like Sonic Extreme. And it's truly so confusing to control. But the fact that you can load this up, I guess you could do the same with a like a real Saturn and getting a EverDrive or something connected to it. But and I can't tell which, I guess, you know, it's not a completed game. But right up here, you just hit a wall and you can't go any further. And I did collect all the coins earlier and it didn't do anything different for me. But this is, especially if this was supposed to be a Mario competitor in any way, this is so hard to control. To like just grab a coin in there. I did seem to do a little better when I earlier mapped the D-pad to a control stick, and it helped a little bit, but it still didn't seem like I actually had analog control. And then the other thing I could do, let me just collect all the coins just to make sure I'm not making things up and that there is in fact nothing that happens when you get all the coins. Yeah, there's nothing that happens. Except the music stops. That's great. You can use these things to like launch up. I don't know why. I tried landing on these other circles and it didn't seem to do anything for me either. So, I mean, it's a, you know, whatever, beta, alpha of a game that never released. So, I don't know what I was expecting, but I really thought there'd be like one full level in here. That's fun, but you can't steer if you do the spin dash. Nice. Oh yeah, the riverbank actually moving is very cool. The only problem is the ground also seemed to move some. But like... But you can see the ground attached here also... Oh, I guess it's just the beginning, like the ground moves with it because it's attached to those tiles. And then I think my starting ground, like yeah, this is a wavy section. But I just stand on top of it. There's nothing else. And then there's this piece of ground that you start on that also moves. And I don't know how we explain that. The infomercial-like UI. Yeah, the like gradient blue with yellow on top. Very, very similar to that. Like buy now, $19.99. So yeah. That's cool. I mean, it's not something you would probably want to play, but it's very cool that that is something that can be done. Yeah, let's go to another core. Let's reset this and go back. Java, do you have like a, I don't know, a game you want me to throw in here to test? I was trying to load stuff up on it earlier. It also had all the arcade MAME stuff on here, which I didn't even think about being an option. So that's cool that all this is in here to use. What was the... Seen somebody at MinMax played Volfeed recently. Oh, I can hit left and right to switch through stuff. That's nice. I don't see that Volfeed game that they were talking about, but... Oh, Java, you couldn't think of any game under the sun at a moment's notice? Neither can I. Okay, let's go. We just haven't tried other consoles in here, so let's go try some of those. Do you have Kirby's Dream Course? I think so. Let's see. That was NES, right? I believe that was. And I think it's listed in here as just Famicom. Is it a Super Nintendo game? Kirby's Dream Course? Or did I just not have it? It was SNES. Okay, thank you. I don't think I've really played much of Kirby's Dream Course. Oh, and this seems like it already has some filter. Yeah, I haven't booted up, I don't think, anything from the SNES core yet. So let's see. Audio video options. Why does this have like a filter over it? Is that just what this game looks like? That can't be. That's gotta be a scan line feature, right? Your region. Oh, you can even speed up this stuff? That's interesting. Multi-tab mouse, aspect ratio, you can change that. CRT stuff. You can do inner. Impressive game for its physics simulation. Yeah, I guess I really can't remember having ever played this. Okay, horizontal. Okay, so this did have some settings on here. Okay, there we go. So you can view this just plain sharp pixels in here. Let's hit start and go through. And then I should also be able to do like a... Okay, just zoom in a bit. Oh, it's 2 players too? That's kind of cool. So right, this one plays kind of like pool. Oh my gosh, this is the best name entry I've ever seen. Not from how I'm drawing it, but the fact that you can just draw, that is so fun. Does that look like another bee? Yeah, we'll call that good. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. It should switch over in a second. I think it's just catching up on the stream. There we go. Okay, okay. Wow, okay. I want to reset this core then because I want to go through and actually show that. Let's reset. Sorry about that. I have a button here to switch between the different views that I was testing out, and then I accidentally pressed it when I didn't mean to. Let's turn this up a little bit, because that seems kind of low. Okay. 1-player game, play course. Let's make our name again. New member. This is what I was raving about earlier, that you can draw in your pixels, and maybe I can draw a better bee this time. Nope, I already messed it up. There, very stylistic bee. And, oh, and I've lost the side here. Okay, let's keep it together. No sudden moves. There. 2 perfect bees. That is the coolest name entry I've ever seen in a Super Nintendo game. That's so cool. Okay, let's see. I guess I should also, before I move on, I should check and make sure that these buttons are mapped right. Right, left, down, up. Sorry. Left trigger, right trigger. No to that. Okay. Oh, okay. So you even have like a lob shot you can do? This is very golfing-esque. I can move my stuff around. This has me... oh no, this just rotates me 180 degrees. And that just lets me view. It doesn't seem like I can change there. So if I... Okay. Okay, so I just need to bounce off each of these people, so it's kind of putt-putt-esque. Oh, and then I can start to line up these other shots. Okay. Okay, so I can adjust left and right hit. For spin, doesn't seem like I can go up and down unless I'm just missing the... option to do it. Oh, wow. Why did I put spin? Oh, I see what you mean with the physics simulation. I did not. I really thought it would be like kind of straight moves, but that was... Wow, and the way it just like smoothly rolls out there, that is not what I expected. Okay. Really small hit here. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Can we wait for it to go up and then down? Okay, we can. There we go, there we go. The view... The crosshair view lets you spin. Does it only let you spin left and right? Or can you do top and down spin and I'm just not hitting the right buttons? Because I was trying to hit up and down to move it up and down, but it seemed like it was only acknowledging it left and right. Oh, and then I can do my bounces, and that really changes my trajectory too. Wow, okay. Let's just see what this does. Oh, I see. Okay, the first one is moving and I have to tap it. That's not one I adjust with my D-pad. Okay, okay. And I have no bumper over there, so I guess I do have to be careful about that. But even if I go full speed, I still should only go to the end of my cursor, right? No, not true, not true. You can do up, down, spin. Can't remember if you do that. Oh, it might just be for the lob. That would make sense, because that did only show up when I just did the lob. I hadn't noticed it before. Okay. What I assumed is that if I went max on this meter, that would be to where the little down arrow was pointing, but it seems like the middle is more related to where the down arrow is. I was trying to think of like the Mario Golf games, where if you do it like, it shows you the marker, and then if you do it halfway, it goes halfway to that or something. But and it looked like this had various stages. Does this play out more like a golf game, Java, that you are just going for a high score, or do you actually need to do this within certain number of turns to like complete the stage and get through? Like it, I don't know. I'm wondering how the progression is in this, because it's already not what I expected. I'm just going full throttle. That may be too crazy, but let's see if we can make it up to this in time. Oh, okay. So close, so close. There we go. Because it does refer to everything as holes, so it does seem like it's more of more golf. Yeah, and it does say course 1, so I guess it is more golf courses, but they play out like levels. And there's a warp this time. Okay. Let's see, we'll go a little past that and see if this gets us exactly on the warp. And I keep my momentum, which I should have thought about before, because I have now warped back. Oh, and I could have ended up on those spikes too because of that miscalculation. Okay, yeah, let's just try this. So let's go to middle, which should be exactly to where the thing showed us. Not true. Not how that works on lob. Okay. Why did I apply spin? I barely understand how to play the game, and I put spin on that? That was not smart. Okay. Let's go halfway. That should stop me about this spot. Wait, what is my... What happens if I press that button while I'm rolling? The A button... Does that slow me down or something? Oh, no. Okay. There we go, there we go. Okay. This is really cool. This is not what I expected at all from this game, and I don't know what I'm... Maybe I more had Sonic 3D Blast in my brain, because that's kind of what I expected this to play like, but it seems much more refined. Also, with all the Kirby spin-offs we've had, the fact that there hasn't been a new version of this game is shocking to me. Because this is so different. Oh, come on. We're so close to a hole-in-one. I don't know what the flexing thing does. Oh, I have like a... Do I have a special power? This game becomes very competitive with 2 players, so you can steal each other's stars back and forth before the hole. That is very cool. I always have really enjoyed Kirby's multiplayer modes. Like, my brother and I used to play all the time in Kirby's... Oh, Superstar Saga, right? That was the Super Nintendo one? My brother and I played that a ton, and it was so much fun. I feel like that's one of the few Super Nintendo games we've really played a lot of. When friends would occasionally bring it over. Okay, so that Okay, so that button is what it looks like. It's a leap power-up, but you should probably make sure there's something to leap to before you trigger it. So, just a little fun fact for people out there. Wow, that's really cool though. I have been wanting. Oh, I got beat by the bomb person. I have really been wanting to go and play through the Kirby series because I played quite a few of them, but there's definitely ones I'm missing that I'd really like to play. And Kirby's Dream Course was not even on my list, so I will need to fix that. Let's see. Go in here. No, that's not at all what I meant to do. That is the button. I also thought it was cool that because I don't have a what's it called, the EverDrives or anything like that. Because I have this now, I can play homebrew games. And the same person who makes, oh, what is the game that was included in the tap card? Dottie Flowers, which is a Super Nintendo homebrew game, also made Super Cooked, which I downloaded from Itch.io, however you say it. And they made a kind of overcooked demake. And so you have your little person, and it looked like, yeah, you move through and actually do like overcooked style stages, and it has multiplayer and everything. A salad's been ordered, okay. And chopping blocks? Yeah, this is so similar. Oh, sorry, I need tomato first since they're trying to explain this to me. Okay, cutting board. But yeah, this kind of, and I know you could do all of this with emulators and everything like that, but just having this available for all the types of games is very cool to me. Okay, I already did it with the, I just need to chop the lettuce. Onto the plate over here. Salad, lettuce. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's basically overcooked, but it's cool that I can load homebrew stuff on here, which again, I don't have that to run on my original Super Nintendo as an option, so being able to do that is very cool to me. And let's see, what else should we do in here? Let me go back main menu and reset. Let's see, we did some .3D games, but let's finish it out with one other 3D system, which I was very interested in as well, even though I've had... The N64 has given me the most problems to capture with, just because I've been unhappy with the results. And the PlayStation, I've really had no problems with, but I still think the ability to run some of these is very cool. So, let's see. Do I have... Let's look at a tiny bit of this. So yeah, being able to play PlayStation games is very cool. It seems like there were also options on here. You have like memory card options and things like that you can do. And then in the video options here is where you could do... Yeah, we'll just do... I guess normal, aspect ratio normal. You can change that stuff. You could also do... Where is this? The dithering on and off that you can modify, because some people do and do not like that. You can also do like different texture filters on here. And then if it's available, you can do a widescreen hack on some of these games. We'll see if it works on here, but I did not think you'd be able to do that for real software. I guess it worked in some, but forcing it, I didn't expect that you'd be able to do that on here. And we'll see if it functions at all. And then after I show this one for a minute, I need to sign off for today. But I'm very excited with the MiSTer so far. I've been very happy with the results and still learning how to do stuff. But I've been looking today at trying to set up other Tap 2 cards and getting one set up. So if I were to just plug this in, I could just have my little card deck and people could tap a card to play a game, which seems very fun. We'll see. I don't know how difficult it is to do that. I did see that there is a phone app that lets you reprogram the cards, and you can also, I think, use the phone app to actually trigger the Tap 2 itself. Once we get into the game, we'll see if this widescreen hack actually worked. Oh, you can see the part of the land is cut off over there, so I think it is working. Let's see, video, and let's turn the hack off. It does stretch some of the stuff, so I'm not sure if it fully works, but I don't know. I just thought that was cool, especially because I like that the options seem a little clearer on what I'm doing, and the games just work by default without me having to do much. Other than the Saturn BIOS, that's been the most confusing thing so far. Can we skip this stuff and just see Croc 2 play for a second? This game's been requested almost every single video by someone in particular. And I need to get to these games. I guess these count as other PlayStation games I could play. Okay, sorry. Can I break this? There we go, what was in there? Zoomers. But yeah, look, PlayStation. Croc is playable. I remember being very jealous of someone who had the Game Boy Color version of Croc because it looked like just such a fun character, and maybe that was just due to the art on the game. Can I get on this to actually jump? No, they keep talking every time I try to jump. So I'll never know if I can jump higher. Okay, this looks like an actual level. Let's jump around to a level. Does this keep me? Oh, wow, okay. That's kind of the last thing I expected. It was a minecart level. I thought this was just gonna be a basic platformer. Okay, there we go. Now we're on the basic platformer. Oh my gosh, the camera control. And I did not realize that if I use the D-pad, it controls like Lara Croft. Or Resident Evil. That does nothing. And I collected some coins. Okay. Where to next? I really have nothing else to... Do I just go back the way I came? Oh, I can look through my binoculars? Okay. I guess I just go back this way. Yeah, not using the control stick is so much better than trying to use the D-pad. It is interesting there are two different control types for this. Okay. What else am what was I supposed to find in here? I know they wanted me to collect something when they asked me for this. Okay. Wow. Oh, and I've got a side shuffle move I can do? Okay. Interesting. Not yet to see the utility of that. Oh, wow. Jumping off these things is very difficult so far. Do I just drop when I let go? No, I do leap. So it like pulls me back while it leaps. Okay. Interesting. This might be a hard one when I get around to it. Okay, and I don't think I switched the video screen back. So yeah, look, PlayStation works too. And there's a bunch of options that I don't fully understand. And if we switch to, let's see, we'll go back to the VGA input too and get that 240p input. So both options. It's outputting these all at the same time always. So again, you can play through HDMI or the old analog inputs at any time if you want, which is very cool. And if you don't want to, then you just have the HDMI cable and that's it. That's all you have to mess with. So yeah, I've been very happy with this so far. Very cool. Still a lot to learn and do and, you know, play with these cards. But yeah, it's been really cool. I'm still excited to run the 240p test suite and actually try to calibrate some of my old retro monitors. I didn't even get to play with this today, but supposedly any of these, I had looked up what controllers work well with the MiSTer, and that was one of them. So hopefully all of this is something I'll use in the future. The other controller that I haven't tried with it yet is the Neo Geo controller that should use the clicky wheel and everything in here. I don't think in most cases that these controllers, I guess I could plug it in. Let me switch to the top view before we sign off. If I plug this controller in, I don't believe that I have the ability to connect to anything. No, honestly, this controller is just giving me trouble. It's not doing the sync buttons or anything, so not quite sure what's going on with this one just at the moment. But I would like to try it and actually play some Neo Geo stuff because having this special, I guess you can hear it here, little clicky stick seems like it'd be fun. And especially because it has that for unique control schemes, seems useful, so we'll see. But yeah, this is one more test of the MiSTer. Hopefully the next time I mention this, it will be either in maybe more of a review as I talk about like if this is worth it, and I'm very interested in seeing how this stuff progresses. I'm coming into it pretty late, seemingly, because Taki Udon's trying to make this all cheaper and easier to get. So that would be really nice to see. And it seems like more projects like what Taki Udon's doing and others are trying to make it so that there is, or there are more portable versions of this. You aren't relying on the analog pocket, and they're sometimes spotty speed at which they introduce updates and new features. So that would be really cool to see, is to see this project like move quicker and have more ways for people to use this stuff. But we'll just see how it progresses. Let's see. Is this my first chance where I get to use one of these? Yep, I got to hit escape on the keyboard to get out of there because I went down the wrong menu item. I think that's it. I think that's all. Okay, I got to sign off for now. Thank y'all for tuning in and seeing MiSTer stuff. I'm very excited to play more with this, and hopefully it means you get better N64 capture and PlayStation capture and all that stuff, that I can just make it easier for me to capture a game while I play it. There are more videos coming down the line, I promise. I'm trying to get my feet out from under me, or under me, whatever the saying is, so I can actually get some videos out. But I've been finishing games. I have stuff to finish, so look forward to those. And thanks for tuning in. Java, thanks for tuning in. I will see y'all later. King Elizabeth, good to see you. Thanks for watching.